Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we delve into the dark and daunting world of glioblastoma, the most aggressive form of brain cancer known to humanity. With a prognosis that's been historically grim, glioblastoma has long stood as an indomitable foe in the realm of neuro-oncology.
Oh, Jane, you pessimistic pearl clutcher, always so quick to paint the bleakest picture. While I won't sugarcoat the severity of glioblastoma, I must emphasize the strides we've made in understanding this formidable adversary. Yes, it's aggressive, but our knowledge and tactics are evolving.
Evolving, you say? Let's not mince words, Dan. Glioblastoma, or GBM, as it's clinically known, has been a relentless killer. The average onset age is around 64 years, and it's more common in males than females. Symptoms are insidious, starting with headaches, personality changes, and nausea, rapidly worsening to unconsciousness. The prognosis? Downright dire, with a life expectancy of about 12 months with treatment, and a 5-year survival rate languishing below 10%.
But there lies the rub, Jane. The battlefield is changing. The cause of most glioblastomas is still a mystery, true, but we've identified risk factors like genetic disorders and previous radiation therapy. And let's not forget the advancements in diagnosis and treatment, CT scans, MRI scans, tissue biopsies, and treatments involving surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. We're not fighting with blunt swords anymore, Jane. Our arsenal is getting sharper.
Sharper, perhaps, but is it enough? Despite these advancements, the cancer almost always recurs. Surgical removal, while increasing survival by mere months, is often a Pyrrhic victory. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. The blood-brain barrier, a fortress in its own right, thwarting most drug therapeutics from reaching the tumour. The reality, dear Dan, is that glioblastoma is still a colossus, unyielded and unyielding.
Yet hope is not lost, my overly dramatic counterpart. The very challenges you count are the crucibles of innovation. The blood-brain barrier, a puzzle we're learning to solve. Recurrence, a pattern we're learning to predict and hopefully prevent. The fight against glioblastoma is emblematic of the human spirit's resilience. We're learning, adapting, and inching closer to breakthroughs that could one day turn the tide.
Resilience and hope are commendable, Dan, but let us not stray into the realm of wishful thinking. The path ahead is fraught with uncertainty and the need for continued vigilance and research. For now, glioblastoma is still a testament to our limitations and a reminder of the urgency with which we must pursue not just treatments, but cures.
And pursue we shall, Jane. With every challenge comes opportunity, the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to eventually overcome. The story of glioblastoma is far from over, and I, for one, look forward to the day when we can speak of it not as a death sentence, but as a conquerable foe.
Let's explore the groundbreaking realm of CAR-T therapy, a beacon of hope in the fight against cancer. This innovative treatment reprograms a patient's T-cells to attack cancer cells, marking a significant leap forward in personalized medicine.
Oh, Jane, always so quick to jump on the bandwagon of every new miracle cure. While CAR-T therapy indeed is a fascinating advance, let's not overlook the challenges and limitations that accompany it. It's not a panacea for all cancers, and its application has been primarily successful in blood cancers, not solid tumors.
Dan, your skepticism is as unwarranted as it is predictable. CAR-T therapy has shown remarkable success in treating certain blood cancers, such as B-cell precursor acute lymphoblastic leukemia and diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, leading to the FDA's approval of treatments like Kymriah and Yescarta. These therapies have turned the tide for many patients who had run out of options, offering not just hope, but real, tangible results.
But Jane, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The process of creating CAR-T cells is complex and costly. It involves extracting T-cells from a patient, genetically engineering them in a lab to express chimeric antigen receptors, and then reinfusing them back into the patient. This isn't something that can be done at your local clinic. It requires specialized facilities and expertise. And let's not forget the side effects, including the potentially life-threatening cytokine release syndrome.
Dan, no groundbreaking medical advancement comes without its hurdles. Yes, CAR-T therapy is complex, And yes, it can have serious side effects. But the medical community is learning, adapting, and improving the safety and efficacy of this treatment. The benefits for those who have seen their cancer go into remission cannot be understated. We're talking about a treatment that engineers the body's own cells to become cancer-fighting machines. It's a remarkable example of how far science and medicine have come.
Remarkable indeed, Jane. But let's not lose sight of the fact that CAR-T therapy's success stories are currently limited to a subset of cancers. Its effectiveness against solid tumors is still to be seen, and the high costs associated with the treatment put it out of reach for many. Until we can address these issues, CAR-T therapy will remain a promising yet inaccessible choice for the majority of cancer patients.
Dan, the journey of medical innovation is a marathon, not a sprint. The first success of CAR-T therapy in blood cancers lays the groundwork for future research and development. Scientists are already exploring ways to apply this technology to solid tumors and reduce the associated costs. The potential of CAR-T therapy extends far beyond its current applications, and with continued investment and research, its benefits could be brought to a wider range of patients.
Well, Jane, while I admire your optimism, I remain cautiously hopeful. The promise of CAR-T therapy is undeniable, but so are the challenges it faces. Only time will tell if this innovative treatment can truly revolutionize cancer care, or if it will be remembered as just another step in the ongoing search for a cure.
As we navigate the promising waters of CAR-T therapy, it's crucial to anchor ourselves in the reality of its challenges and limitations. Despite its groundbreaking potential, CAR-T therapy is not without its hurdles, including the recurrence of tumors and the absence of a demonstrated survival benefit in solid tumors.
Oh, Jane, always the harbinger of doom. While I acknowledge the roadblocks, it's important to view them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Yes, tumors have recurred in some cases, but this is a complex battle against a formidable foe. The fact that we're seeing any progress at all is a testament to the therapy's potential.
Dan, optimism must be tempered with realism. The recurrence of tumours post-treatment cannot be brushed aside. This isn't just a minor setback, it's a significant blow to patients who had pinned their hopes on CAR-T therapy. And let's not forget, none of the studies have yet to show a definitive survival benefit. We're in the business of saving lives, not just shrinking tumours temporarily.
But Jane, you're missing the forest for the trees. The very nature of scientific progress is iterative. We learn from each setback, refining our approaches and improving outcomes. The absence of a demonstrated survival benefit today does not prevent the possibility of one tomorrow. Research is ongoing, and with each study, we inch closer to unlocking the full potential of CAR-T therapy.
Dan, while your faith in the future is commendable, we must confront the present realities. The complexity of maximizing the therapy's effectiveness is a daunting task. We're dealing with a treatment that requires precise genetic modification of T-cells, a process fraught with technical and biological challenges, and let's not gloss over the side effects, which can be severe and even life-threatening.
But Jane, every medical breakthrough has faced its share of challenges. Remember the early days of chemotherapy or organ transplants? The side effects were, and still can be, severe, but through relentless research and innovation, we've managed to improve both efficacy and safety. The same will be true for CAR-T therapy. As for the technical challenges, they are but puzzles waiting to be solved by the brilliant minds in our scientific community.
Still, Dan, we cannot afford to overlook the ethical and accessibility issues that go with CAR-T therapy. Its high cost puts it out of reach for many, raising serious questions about equity in healthcare. And the ethical implications of genetic modification, while not insurmountable, require careful consideration and robust regulatory frameworks.
Jane, the ethical and accessibility concerns you raise are valid, but they are not unique to CAR-T therapy. These are systemic issues that plague many advanced medical treatments. The solution lies not in shying away from innovation, but in addressing the broader healthcare disparities and ethical considerations head-on. As for CAR-T therapy, its journey is still in its infancy. With time, costs will decrease, access will broaden, and ethical guidelines will evolve to ensure the responsible use of this powerful tool.
Dan, while your optimism is infectious, we must remain vigilant. The journey of CAR-T therapy is indeed just beginning, and its path is fraught with both promise and peril. It is our duty to navigate these waters with both hope and caution, ensuring that we do not lose sight of our ultimate goal: to save lives and improve the quality of those lives ethically and equitably. Delving into the realm of patient experiences with CAR-T therapy, it's essential to recognize the profound impact this treatment has had on individuals like Tom Fraser. After exhausting conventional treatments for glioblastoma, CAR-T therapy offered him a beacon of hope. His tumor began to shrink significantly after just a single infusion, highlighting the therapy's potential to transform lives.
Jane, while Tom Fraser's story is indeed heartwarming, it's just one side of the coin. We mustn't overlook the fact that CAR-T therapy comes with its share of side effects, ranging from fever and extreme fatigue to more severe life-threatening conditions like cytokine release syndrome. These side effects can significantly affect patients' quality of life, casting a shadow over the therapy's benefits.
Dan, any groundbreaking medical treatment comes with its risks and side effects. What's remarkable about CAR-T therapy is not just its potential to shrink tumors, but its ability to give patients like Tom Fraser a new lease on life. He was able to resume normal activities, spend quality time with family and friends, and even travel. These outcomes speak volumes about the therapy's transformative potential, beyond mere survival statistics.
But let's not get carried away by individual success stories, Jane. The reality is that CAR-T therapy is not a one-size-fits-all solution. While Tom Fraser and a few others have seen remarkable results, there are patients whose cancers have returned after treatment. We must approach these narratives with a balanced perspective, acknowledging both the successes and the limitations of CAR-T therapy.
Dan, the journey of every cancer patient is unique, and while not every story is a success, the advancements in CAR-T therapy offer a glimmer of hope where there was previously none. The side effects, though serious, are a part of the therapy's evolving landscape. With ongoing research and patient monitoring, strategies to mitigate these effects are continually being developed, enhancing the therapy's safety and efficacy.
Jane, hope is invaluable, but it must be grounded in reality. The cost of CAR-T therapy, both financial and physical, cannot be ignored. As we celebrate the successes, we must also dedicate ourselves to addressing the challenges that remain, ensuring that CAR-T therapy can become a more accessible and safer option for a broader range of patients in the future.
Indeed, Dan, the path forward requires a balanced approach, celebrating the milestones while diligently working to overcome the hurdles. The stories of patients like Tom Fraser illuminate the potential of CAR-T therapy to change lives, serving as a catalyst for continued innovation and research in the quest to conquer cancer. Now, let's look into the research and development efforts surrounding CAR-T therapy. It's clear that the scientific community is on the cusp of a revolution. The first successes in treating certain blood cancers have paved the way for innovative strategies to enhance the durability and efficacy of this treatment. Researchers are tirelessly working on various maneuvers to increase the longevity of CAR-T cells in the body, which could significantly improve patient outcomes.
Jane, while your enthusiasm for scientific progress is admirable, let's not overlook the considerable challenges that lie ahead. Enhancing the durability of CAR-T therapy is a complex puzzle. The human body's immune system is a labyrinth of checks and balances, and tinkering with it to improve one aspect of a treatment can inadvertently lead to unforeseen consequences. The hard part isn't just making the tumors shrink, it's ensuring they don't come back.
Indeed, Dan, but that's exactly where the brilliance of research and development comes into play. Take, for example, the pilot study at Mass General Brigham, which not only used CAR-T cells to target glioblastoma but also added modifications to outsmart the cancer's defenses. This innovative approach reprogrammed suppressor T cells, which normally protect the tumor, to become killer T cells that attack it. Such advancements show the potential of CAR-T therapy to adapt and overcome the challenges you mentioned.
Yet, Jane, for all these advancements, The path to a universally effective CAR-T therapy is fraught with hurdles. The variability of tumors and the unique immune landscapes of each patient mean that what works in a pilot study may not translate to widespread success. And let's not forget the side effects, such as cytokine release syndrome, which can be severe. Balancing efficacy with safety is a delicate dance.
True, Dan, but let's not underestimate the power of human ingenuity. The very challenges you highlight are the fuel for innovation. Consider the ongoing research into using chemotherapy before CAR-T therapy to improve outcomes, or the exploration of dual-targeting approaches to minimize off-target effects. Each study, each trial brings us closer to refining this therapy, making it safer and extending its benefits to more patients.
Jane, while optimism is a virtue, realism is a necessity. The journey from pilot studies to a cure is long and uncertain. Each step forward in research and development is accompanied by setbacks and questions. How do we scale these therapies? How do we make them affordable? And most importantly, how do we ensure they provide a lasting benefit to patients?
Dan, the challenges of scaling, affordability, and long-term efficacy are not insurmountable. They are simply the next set of obstacles in our ongoing quest to conquer cancer. With continued investment, collaboration and innovation, the research and development efforts in CAR-T therapy will navigate these hurdles. The promise of CAR-T therapy to turn the tide against some of the most aggressive cancers is too great to ignore. And it's through these efforts that hope is transformed into healing. Dan, it is time to explore the expansion of CAR-T therapy. Beyond its first triumphs in treating blood cancers, we're stepping into a realm of immense potential. The technology, which has been a beacon of hope for leukemia and lymphoma patients, is now being tailored to tackle the more complex landscape of solid tumours. This shift is a bold leap forward, aiming to bring the promise of CAR-T therapy to a broader patient population.
Jane, while the enthusiasm is commendable, diving into the world of solid tumours with CAR-T therapy is not without its significant challenges. Solid tumours present a vastly different battlefield compared to blood cancers. They have a complex microenvironment that can shield them from the immune system's attacks, making it difficult for engineered T cells to penetrate and persist. It's not just a matter of expanding. It's about overcoming a whole new set of obstacles.
Indeed, Dan, the challenges are substantial, but so is the progress. Researchers are already developing strategies to navigate the hostile terrain of solid tumours. For instance, modifications to CAR-T cells are being explored to enhance their ability to infiltrate these tumours, and additional targeting mechanisms are being tested to improve precision and reduce off-target effects. This isn't just theoretical. Early clinical trials are showing promise, with some patients experiencing significant tumour shrinkage.
But let's not get carried away, Jane. The road from early clinical trials to widespread clinical application is long and fraught with uncertainty. Even with advancements, the issue of CAR-T cell persistence and the potential for severe side effects remain. And while some patients have seen benefits, the overall success rate and long-term efficacy in the context of solid tumours are still under investigation. We're in the early days, and optimism should be cautious.
Caution is wise, Dan, but so is courage in the face of adversity. The journey of CAR-T therapy from a novel idea to a life-saving treatment for blood cancers was no less daunting. Yet here we are, witnessing its success and looking to the future. The exploration of CAR-T therapy in solid tumours is driven by the same spirit of innovation and determination. Yes, the challenges are significant, but the potential to save lives is too great to ignore.
Jane, while the spirit of innovation is to be applauded, we must also prioritize patient safety and the careful evaluation of risks and benefits. The expansion of CAR-T therapy into the realm of solid tumors is a complex endeavor that requires not just technological breakthroughs, but also a deep understanding of tumor biology and the immune system. It's a promising frontier, but one that we must navigate with diligence and responsibility.
Absolutely, Dan. The path forward must be guided by rigorous research, ethical considerations, and a commitment to patient safety. The exploration of CAR T therapy for solid tumours embodies the hope and challenges of cancer research. With continued dedication and collaboration, we can strive to unlock new possibilities for patients battling these formidable diseases. As we delve into the case studies of success in CAR T therapy, it's impossible not to feel a surge of hope. These stories aren't just clinical data points, they're narratives of real people whose lives have been dramatically changed. Take, for example, the remarkable outcomes seen in patients with relapsed or refractory B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia. CAR T therapy has not only achieved remission in a significant number of these cases, but, in some, has turned what was once considered a terminal prognosis into a manageable condition.
Jane, while these success stories are indeed heartening, we must approach them with a critical eye. Yes, there have been remarkable cases where patients have responded incredibly well to CAR T therapy, achieving complete remission, where all other treatments had failed. However, these successes, while worth celebrating, are not yet the norm. The therapy is still relatively new, and long-term outcomes and potential late-onset side effects remain areas of active investigation.
Dan, your caution is understandable, but let's not downplay the significance of these breakthroughs. For patients and families who had exhausted all other options, CAR T therapy has been a lifeline. The success stories are not just anecdotal, they're backed by rigorous clinical trials and research. For instance, the FDA's approval of CAR T therapies, like tisagenlecleucel, for certain pediatric and young adult patients with B-cell ALL, is a testament to its potential. These aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a growing body of evidence supporting CAR T therapy's efficacy.
True, Jane. The FDA approvals do speak volumes about the therapy's potential. However, the road to these approvals was paved with careful scrutiny of both the benefits and the risks. The success stories, while compelling, also come with tales of severe cytokine release syndrome, neurotoxicity, and other challenging side effects. The treatment's efficacy must be weighed against these risks, and ongoing monitoring is crucial to ensure patient safety.
Absolutely, Dan. Patient safety and the careful management of side effects are paramount. But let's also consider the alternative. For many of these patients, traditional therapies had failed and prognosis was poor. CAR T therapy offered a new avenue where none existed before. The success stories underscore the importance of continued research and development in this field, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in cancer treatment.
Jane, your optimism is infectious, but we must remain grounded. The success stories should indeed fuel further research and inspire hope. However, they should also serve as a reminder of the work that remains to be done. We need to understand why some patients respond remarkably well to CAR T therapy, while others do not, and how we can minimize adverse effects. These case studies of success are not the end of the story. They're the beginning of a longer journey toward making CAR T therapy safer, more effective, and accessible to all who might benefit from it.
Dan, I couldn't agree more. The journey is indeed long, but each success story is a beacon of hope, illuminating the path forward. As we continue to learn from these cases, refine the therapy, and expand its application, the potential to transform cancer treatment is immense. Let's celebrate the successes, learn from the challenges, and continue the vital work of bringing this innovative therapy to those in need. As we look toward the future of CAR T therapy and glioblastoma treatment, it's hard not to be filled with a sense of optimism. The pioneering studies and clinical trials have laid a solid foundation, demonstrating not just the feasibility, but the potential efficacy of CAR T therapy in tackling one of the most aggressive forms of brain cancer. The path forward is illuminated with the promise of innovation, offering new hope to patients who have long awaited breakthroughs in treatment options.
Jane, while your optimism is commendable, it's essential to temper our expectations with a dose of reality. The journey of CAR T therapy, from experimental trials to a standard treatment option for glioblastoma, is fraught with challenges. The complexity of the brain tumor microenvironment, the potential for off-target effects, and the need for precise targeting mechanisms are just a few of the hurdles that researchers and clinicians must overcome. The future is promising, yes, but The road ahead is long and uncertain.
Dan, the challenges you mention are indeed significant, but they are not insurmountable. The very nature of scientific progress is to confront and overcome obstacles. The advancements in genetic engineering, the development of more sophisticated CAR constructs, and the deepening understanding of glioblastoma's biology are all converging to address these challenges head-on. Moreover, the initial success stories, where tumours have significantly shrunk or even disappeared, serve as beacons of what's possible with continued research and innovation.
True, Jane, but we must also consider the scalability of CAR-T therapy for glioblastoma. The personalized nature of the treatment, while a strength, also presents logistical and financial challenges that could limit widespread accessibility. And while early successes are encouraging, the long-term efficacy and safety of CAR-T therapy in glioblastoma patients remain to be fully understood. The enthusiasm for the potential of CAR-T therapy must be balanced with a commitment to rigorous long-term studies.
Dan, the concerns about scalability and long-term outcomes are valid, but they also highlight the importance of ongoing investment in research and development. The field of CAR-T therapy is still in its infancy, especially regarding solid tumours like glioblastoma. As we learn more, refine the technology, and develop more efficient production methods, the therapy will become more accessible and, hopefully, more affordable. The potential to turn glioblastoma from a death sentence into a treatable condition is a goal worth pursuing, despite the challenges.
Jane, while I share your hope for the future, we must also be mindful of the ethical considerations and ensure that patient safety remains at the forefront of CAR-T therapy development. The excitement around these new treatments must not lead us to overlook the rigorous testing and evaluation needed to ensure they do more good than harm. The future of CAR-T therapy in glioblastoma treatment is indeed bright, but it must be approached with caution, ethical consideration, and a steadfast commitment to patient welfare.
Absolutely, Dan. The path forward for CAR-T therapy in glioblastoma treatment is one of cautious optimism, with a focus on overcoming the technical and biological challenges, improving accessibility, and ensuring patient safety. The future holds great promise. Let's continue to support the researchers, clinicians, and patients involved in this journey as they work to turn the promise of CAR-T therapy into a reality for those battling glioblastoma. The journey of CAR-T therapy, from its inception to its current applications, it's clear that we stand on the brink of a new era in cancer treatment. The successes we've seen, particularly in blood cancers, are not just victories in the lab. They're beacons of hope for patients and families facing the darkest moments of their lives. CAR-T therapy represents a paradigm shift in oncology, one that promises a future where cancer can be not just treated but truly conquered.
Jane, your enthusiasm for CAR-T therapy's potential is infectious, but let's not lose sight of the road ahead. The successes, while significant, are but the first steps on a long journey. The therapy's application to solid tumours, its long-term efficacy, and the management of severe side effects are challenges that remain to be fully addressed. And beyond the scientific and medical hurdles lies the issue of accessibility, ensuring that these breakthrough treatments can be afforded and accessed by all who need them.
Dan, the challenges you outline are indeed daunting, but they are not insurmountable. The history of medicine is filled with examples of insurmountable odds being overcome through innovation, perseverance, and collaboration. The current state of CAR-T therapy, with its limitations and challenges, is merely a snapshot in time. With ongoing research, investment, and an unwavering commitment to patient care, the potential of CAR-T therapy to revolutionize cancer treatment is within our grasp.
Jane, while I admire your optimism, we must also temper our expectations with pragmatism. The path from experimental therapy to standard care is fraught with complexity. It requires not just scientific breakthroughs, but policy changes, ethical considerations, and a rethinking of healthcare economics. The potential of CAR-T therapy is vast, but realizing that potential will require effort not just from scientists and doctors, but from policymakers, ethicists, and society at large.
Dan, Your call for a holistic approach to the challenges facing CAR-T therapy is well taken. The journey ahead is indeed a collective one, requiring the efforts of a broad coalition of stakeholders. But let's not forget the heart of this endeavour, the patients and families who look to CAR-T therapy as a source of hope. It's for them that we must continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, striving to turn the promise of CAR-T therapy into a reality that can be shared by all.
Jane, as we conclude our discussion, let's agree on this. The story of CAR-T therapy is still being written. Its current state, with all its successes and challenges, is but a chapter in a longer saga of human ingenuity in the face of disease. The potential of CAR-T therapy to change the landscape of cancer treatment is immense, but realizing that potential will be one of the great endeavors of our time. Let's move forward with both hope and caution, guided by a commitment to science, ethics, and above all, the well-being of patients.
Dear viewers, remember we may be imaginary people playing research reporters on the internet, but we are most certainly not your doctor. If anything we said today inspires you to action, all the better, but check with your doctor first.